Two idiots talking over stuff. Talking over. Talking over. Talking over.
Wow.
Wow.
What's up, you fucking idiot? I did it this time.
I was bracing myself.
How tempted were you to steal it from me again?
Are you just gonna hold that over my head forever now?
Yeah.
I said it one time.
Yeah, I mean...
No, I was gonna
my
let
line.
you. I was gonna let you. I was just girding my loins.
Clearly, my line is all I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, we'll fight about it.
Well, who are you?
Who the fuck are you? I don't know.
I was just trying to introduce.
Dude, I'm ready to fight. Let's fight.
Oh, man. All right, we can fight, but we're going to have to get something more concrete.
I'm angry about politics. Let's do fights.
You can't actually take that out on me because I'm a woman and we respect women.
You're a woman?
Yeah, I'm every woman. It's all in me.
I wish that song said that. I'm every woman.
I'm all the women. So I'm Felicia. I'm Berry.
Yeah, I'm Jesse. Stillwell.
Wow. I'm trying to remember to actually say my name.
Right.
Where can people find you on social media?
I'm at Al by Night on Twitter.
And I'm at Felicia3 on Twitter and Instagram.
You can find our website at www.idiots.fm. And there's a link at the top to email us at hello@idiots.fm. And you can hop in our Discord. That link's also at the top of the website.
Heck yeah.
There's a cross-stitch club.
We're going to have some lessons because I don't want to stab myself a lot.
I don't think you stab yourself.
I thought cross-stitch was like the needle on the little round thing. And you do the little...
Yeah. I mean, it is, but I don't think you...
I think you're underestimating how bad I am with needles.
I don't think Miriam's ever stabbed herself. Well, maybe she has. She's just not... She's a strong woman.
Wow.
Maybe
what
she has
saying,
and she's...
Jesse?
I'm just saying that maybe you're a wuss.
Wow. Wow, we really are fighting right out the gate, huh?
We're doing fights. Let me not pick a fight today.
We'll wait. We'll probably have some fights later on, but we got to actually get into some material first. So, what's new with you?
Wrote some music, wrote some comic book stuff, spent a large majority of Friday on Twitter fuming and trying not to tweet angry shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
I did tweet some angry shit. Yeah.
I tweeted some angry shit, not as angry as I wanted to go. I did a lot of deleting.
I basically just tweeted that I was going to cut my uterus out and throw it at an old white man.
Yeah, I didn't go that hard. Although I don't have a uterus.
Yeah, you can't really tweet about having a uterus if you don't.
No.
But we're here to maybe distract you from the terrible, terrible world.
Yeah.
I spent most of my week taking some unexpected naps. I'd eat a bunch of carbs and then fall asleep for 2 hours and wake up not knowing what dimension I was in.
Are you sure that's not diabetes? You're like... You're describing diabetes.
My house was warm. I was all relaxed. I ate some pizza and then took a nap.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's I'm a hypocrite, by the way, because I do that all the
time. Yeah, I know. Yesterday, I was supposed to go to a friend's house who recently had a baby. And I'm glad that fell through because I'm so bad with kids. I don't know what to do around babies.
Me too. I think maybe you have to have one to learn how to handle them or whatever.
Maybe.
Although I grew up with cousins that just knew somehow.
Yeah, I see everyone in my family is at least like my age or only slightly younger. So I
Hmm.
haven't, not, I mean, not everyone in my family is my age, obviously. I just mean there's not a lot of people younger than me in my family. So I
Right.
haven't had a lot of familial experience with children. And I'm just kind of now at the age where a shit ton of people I know are having babies. And I don't know what to do. If you hand me a baby, I'm going to be like, oh, no, thank you. I don't know what to do with that. You can
Yeah.
keep it.
They just seem breakable, but I think
Yeah,
they're like made of rubber.
it's true. I think it's more that I just feel like they're always judging me.
I hate that shit too. I'm like scared more than anything of like 6-year-olds
Oh, yeah.
because they don't hold back. Like if there's something wrong with you, you will fucking know about it real quick.
I think I don't know how to handle anyone under like 21.
I haven't interacted with a kid in a while, but like 16-year-olds I used to be able to get along with pretty well. But it's
Yeah.
because I'm a nihilist, and that's about the
Mm.
time where a lot of 16-year-olds are becoming nihilists.
Is 16 Gen Z?
Like currently?
Yeah.
I
Like
don't
what age range is Gen Z, I guess?
I think 16 right now might be a Zoomer.
Oh God.
I don't know. I don't know how that shit works. There's too
I don't
many.
either. I'm
like 3 different generations myself. I don't.
I'm just a millennial trying to understand culture.
Yeah, I'm a millennial too, technically.
Yeah. Well,
But
you're not a boomer.
No, not yet. I don't think I'll ever be.
No.
That's
Anyway.
weird. Wait, hold on. I want to discuss.
No, it just has to do with the generation you were born in, not your actual age.
Right, but the word boomer is like part of the lexicon now. So in 20 years, am I going to be a boomer if I'm
No.
like an old Karen ass?
You know, I think you might get called a boomer,
Yeah.
like if by kids who don't think you're cool, I guess. But you're technically never going to be because you weren't born in that generation.
Huh.
I think it might just now be used as a derogatory term for the most part.
Yeah, that's true. It's an interesting thought experiment.
Yeah.
What did we watch this week?
Well, together yesterday we just watched Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I got thoughts.
Yeah, most of mine were just.
We'll talk about it later because it's that's actually coming up later.
Okay. But I personally watched Good Luck to You, Leo Grand, which we talked a little bit about last week.
Mhm.
It's on Hulu. It features, oh my God, Dame.
Not Judi Dench.
Not Judi Dench. I keep wanting to say Helen Mirren, and it's not that either.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive. I'll look her up. Emma
Why was
Thompson.
Helen Mirren in my head too?
I
Yeah, you're
don't
right.
know.
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson. And she plays this widow who is a retired school teacher, hasn't had a lot of adventure in her life, decides to hire a male escort and fulfill some bucket list things with him.
Mhm.
But it's just like a really sweet, beautiful movie that like destigmatizes sex work, humanizes sex workers, and just kind of, you know, there's this society views women of a certain age as just like wives and mothers and not individual sexual beings anymore.
Mhm.
So I think it's also about, you know, realizing that even if you're a retired school teacher, a widow, like that's not all that you are. You're still a human being with needs. And so it's just like this lovely little marriage and this relationship of between this sex worker and this retired school teacher, and like learning about each other and finding their kind of place in the world. And it's just delightful. There's a full frontal of Emma Thompson, and it did make me cry. And that's not something that I thought I would say.
Like good cry or bad cry?
Good cry. Like I feel you cry.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. But yeah, I encourage everybody to go watch it. It's real good. I wouldn't maybe probably don't watch it with your parents, but unless you're real open about that stuff.
Never.
No.
I watched The Doors with my parents one time when I was too young, and it scarred me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Good luck to you. Leo Ground looked good last week. I didn't get around to watching it.
Yeah, it's real good.
Still on my radar.
The other thing I watched is a show on Netflix called Unbelievable, which is based on a true story about this girl who was raped. Somebody broke into her apartment in the middle of the night, raped her, didn't leave any kind of evidence behind. So when she reported it, nobody really believed her. They all treated her like a suspect rather than a victim. And it was like the cops who handled her case were just super shitty, didn't really give her any respect or credit, or didn't handle the case with any kind of sensitivity, to the point where she felt so bullied by the cops that she retracted her statement, said she made it all up, and then got charged with false reporting. And so it's that, and then contrasting with these other rape cases that get taken on by these two female detectives who are incredible and like super great with the victims, and end up, you know, chasing this serial rapist, all the while not knowing that it was connected to this other girl's case. So it was like a really great story. I don't usually do true crime stuff, but I wanted to watch something that had kind of Broadchurch vibes. And it did, but also it just filled me with so much feminist rage.
Yeah.
Like the first episode just made me so angry at cops. ACAB, am I right?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're correct.
I won't go into it too much more, but it is worth watching. It's just somewhat heavy, especially if that's a sensitive subject for you.
Yeah, I thought about watching that one. I have to be in a mood for the heavy stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it sounds good though, and I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, and it does have, like, it wraps up very nicely, and I think it's satisfying, but definitely got to be in the mood for that.
Yeah. I watched Rise, which is a sports movie that we'll talk about later. It just came out, so it's going to be on our list later.
Oh, I have no idea what that is, but we'll see.
Yep. Oh, we're both watching Schitt's Creek.
Yes, it's my probably third or fourth watch through, and Jesse's first. We're in season 2.
Yeah, we're like a few episodes deep.
Yes.
And we watch with our friend Beth.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
It is. Which leads us to, we also watch movies in VR with a group of friends, and right now we're going through sci-fi movies.
Sci-fi sequels.
Sci-fi sequels, yes. And it's randomly generated, so we never know what we're going to watch until they hit play. And a couple days ago, we watched Screamers 2, which Mutt from seasons 1 and 2 of Schitt's Creek appeared in. And Jesse was amazed that I recognized him.
Yeah, I had no fucking clue. Like, that, it wasn't anywhere. He doesn't look anything close to what he looks like in Schitt's Creek.
I think he's a very distinct looking person. And I remember at least the first time I watched Schitt's Creek, I couldn't believe how unbelievably good looking he was. And I think a lot of women have that experience with Mutt. But also
when we started watching Schitt's Creek, I didn't say it, but I was like, Felicia thinks this is a wet boy right here.
I knew you would. I'm surprised you didn't say it.
I don't know why I didn't say it, because I thought it every time he would like take his shirt off, I'm like, Felicia's thinking this is a wet man.
He's very attractive. I don't really care about that character though. Like, he's not that compelling to me.
No.
So that makes him less attractive, but he is
might
very
be a
good-looking
serial
man.
killer.
But the point is, I also always thought that he had a very distinct voice. I just always thought, like, that voice doesn't match his appearance. So when we were watching Screamers, I was like, I know this guy. Where do I know this guy from? We'll say it was about like 10, 15 years ago, and he was also like thick at the time.
Yeah.
But he looked so familiar. And I think the voice is what made me go, oh, I think that's Mutt. And then I looked it up and confirmed, and it is.
I was flabbergasted.
But I also don't think I would have place that if we weren't currently watching
Oh,
Schitt's Creek.
yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
It's like fresh on your mind.
Right.
I found out a deep dived a little bit, and I found out that Mutt left Schitt's Creek to go to Winona Earp.
Which nobody has ever watched.
Miriam watched it. Winona Earp, like, that's such a bad decision.
But I think it worked for Schitt's Creek.
I feel like Schitt's Creek's gonna go down as like, it already seems to be going down as an Office level of comedy.
Yeah.
That's like rewatchable and revered, and everybody I've ever talked to about it loves it. And he left that to go to Winona Earp.
Yeah, it was stupid on his part, but I don't think the show was any worse for it. Sorry, Mutt.
Oh, we watched UHF in VR.
We did. The Weird Al movie.
Oh, Joel Miller, you just found the marble in the oatmeal. You're a lucky, lucky, lucky little boy, because you know why? You get to drink from the fire hose! Oh, Joel Miller, you just found the marble in the oatmeal.
Not again.
Dude, I think I saw that maybe when I was a kid, because my brother, when I asked my brother if he'd seen it, like, he immediately referenced that fire hose scene.
Oh.
So
yeah.
I think I might have watched it with my brothers when I was super young, but basically this time in VR is the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, I'd never seen it before. Weird Al, I wasn't like religiously a fan of. It was more that I had a couple songs because I'd heard them on TV or something. So, you know, it's nostalgic.
Yeah.
Parody songs. But I didn't even know there was a Weird Al movie out there.
I love Weird Al.
Yeah, he's great.
It was weird. This one just fell off my radar forever. But it was like right in my wheelhouse. If I had caught that when I was like 12, if I had it on a VHS, I would have worn it out for sure.
Yeah. It is like a very stupid movie, but
yeah.
it's a lot of fun, and there really are like bits on bits on bits.
Yeah, every scene is a bit, I think. And the director's commentary is real nice too. I watched it again the next day with that on. And I'll probably watch it again this week. I love it.
God. That's too many times.
It's just so dumb and fun. It's like Hot Shots Part 2, which I'm certain you've not seen.
No.
And it's like Naked Gun, those types of movies. It's just a lot of background humor stuff. It's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, we have one bit of movie or television news. It was slow. There was like literally the only other thing I found was like Jules from Euphoria is going to be in the Hunger Games prequel, and I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck either. I don't give a fuck about it, either of those things.
Who gives a... first of all, Euphoria is amazing. Who gives a fuck about the Hunger Games prequel?
No.
But the news is that Blade Runner and The Thing both debuted on June 25th in 1982. It's 40 years ago, almost to the day right now. That's
a strong double feature there.
I would have snuck out of one into the other, maybe. Although you showed me The Thing, and I had like a completely different idea of what that movie was.
I remember that you thought it was going to be like an old black and white movie, which there is. I think it's called The Thing from Outer Space, I want to say. That this movie is based on. But The Thing is very much its own beast. It's an 80s Kurt Russell movie, which, like, I was surprised you hadn't seen it before for that reason. But yes, it is body horror, so it's certainly not super accessible for everybody, but I love it.
Yeah, I loved it when I saw it. I thought that it was, I like mixed it up with The Creature of the Black Lagoon, I think. I was like... I had absolutely no concept of what that was.
It does sound like a Hollywood movie monster, like a Universal monster.
It does. Maybe I thought it was like Swamp Thing or something like that.
Oh, could be, yeah.
I was mixing up lots of shit in my head.
But it's a great movie, and I think it'd be real cool if that came back to theaters for a little bit, just for the anniversary.
It did. Fathom Events brought it back to theaters, but they put it in the wrong aspect ratio.
Oh, shit.
And that's not a movie you want to do that to, I think. because like it pissed off a whole lot of film nerds. And there was this guy on Twitter named Mick Garris from a podcast called The Postmortem. And he said, first of all, the film was shot in the 2:3:5:1 widescreen aspect ratio, but was shown in 1:8:5:1, literally cutting out a third of the film.
Weird.
So can you imagine like being such a huge fan of the thing that you go to this Fathom Events thing and the aspect ratio is garbage?
Like, that's so wild. Yeah, that's terrible.
I was reading and it sounded like it was like a technical constraint. Like all of Fathom stuff is streamed off of a satellite box or something.
Then don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do it to that movie.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
We come together on a huge silver screen because we need that, all of us. That indescribable feeling we get feels good in a place like this. I'm coming.
What's coming out?
The last I'm coming is so jarring because I just really want to finish it.
Yeah, I thought about like putting an echo on that, but I think it hits harder when you don't, when it just falls off a cliff.
What is coming out, Jesse?
Minions Rise of Gru.
Who cares?
Can't wait. We're not even gonna guess the rating. I couldn't give a single fuck about that movie.
Zero idea how many Minions movies there are at this point.
Sadly, I know. Because I looked into this. I had a whole thing where it's funny because I had written out like all of the notes on it and then I just backspaced it all and I said, who fucking cares? But it's the third Minions movie.
No way.
There are so many huge stars in it that I was baffled. Like if you go to IMDb and look at the Rise of Gru credits, nobody will ever do this, but it's like the whole billing is full of stars. It's insane.
I feel like that's happening more and more with animated movies these days. There's so many people you don't expect to see.
Isn't that kind of stupid, you think?
Maybe, but I think maybe it's just like something for the parents. They're just like, oh my God, I know who that is.
I guess so, but is that like a selling point? I don't know.
Not for the kids. The kids are going to want to see it regardless, but
I feel like they're just taking food out of voice acting mouths.
Maybe, yeah.
Get some actual good voice actors in there.
Yeah.
The other movie that's July 1st, by the way, nationwide for The Rise of Gru and Mr. Malcolm's List, which is the second one. I put this on here for you because I feel like this is up your alley and not mine.
Oh, because it's like a period piece?
Yeah, so the logline is, after being rejected by London's most sought-after bachelor, a young woman conscripts her childhood friend to get revenge on him. So it's based on a short film that's got like a couple million views, and it's got big Bridgerton and like Downton Abbey vibes, which is not my thing because whenever I watch those things, all I ever think is that they all stink.
I have not watched Bridgerton. I do like Downton Abbey, but it's not like one of my favorite shows. But I don't know.
Maybe give that short film a look.
Yeah, maybe
on YouTube. But yeah, it's written by Suzanne Elaine. This is her second writing credit ever, and it's directed by Emma Holly Jones, and this is her first feature length. She's like done a bunch of shorts. But there's like some buzz about this movie, and I am not the target audience.
I don't know that I would watch this if I saw it. Like the era isn't really what attracts me to this show. I need a little bit more than that. But maybe if the trailer is super compelling, who knows?
There's some wet boys in it.
I'll have to. Let's see, Mr. Malcolm's List. You have on here also guessing the IMDb, the Rotten Tomatoes rating, and
yeah,
I don't even know how to do that because I know zero about this.
Why don't we skip that this week? Because I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care about either of these movies, if I'm being honest.
Oh, it does have that dude from Hill House, Oliver Jackson Cohen. He played Luke in Hill House.
Oh, yeah. He was good.
He was good, but all these other people are unknowns to me.
Yeah. Anyway, if you like Downton Abbey, you might like that. And the short was super well received, and they got a feature based on the short, so maybe it's good. Who knows?
Who knows? Wow, what an exciting week.
That's what I thought when I was looking through this. I was like, Jesus, please, is there anything? But there really wasn't. There was like a bunch of indie stuff. Nothing really in theaters. There was stuff coming to streaming. There were some films. And the first one is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness on Disney Plus. That got released on June 22nd, and that's what we watched yesterday.
We sure did. I was actually excited to watch it because, not that I like Doctor Strange, I really don't give a shit. Like, the first movie I didn't like it at all, really, which is saying something, because I love both Tilda Swinton and Mads Mikkelsen, and they were both in that movie, which seems like a 10 out of 10 for me, but it was not good. So I wasn't like super pumped for Doctor Strange, but I do really like Scarlet Witch, and I was really wondering where they were going to take her character, which it was some give and take. So this was directed by Sam Raimi, who did the Evil Dead series. And it definitely had those vibes. I don't want to give any kind of spoilers, but there's a fun cameo. It was super, super cheesy. There were a lot of bad effects. Some moments were cool. I don't have a lot of good stuff to say about this one.
No, me neither. I'm in the same boat. I didn't really like the first one that much. I loved the visuals in the first one. Like, I would have loved to be able to have been able to see that in IMAX. But the second one, the visuals were cheapened.
Yeah.
Like, I could immediately tell that they didn't have the same VFX budget.
Right.
Which is that's the appeal of that movie to me. And Doctor Strange,
he's just like, he's not a likable character.
It's just, the whole character's built on plot devices because they can just invent stuff.
Yeah. True.
And it's annoying.
Yeah, there's always like a new sacred spell or evil spell. Like,
there's like a new character that's boring.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Did not give a shit about that character.
No, just completely shoehorned in.
Yeah.
It's Miss America, so it's America Chavez, and that character didn't come into the books until 2011, so it's a newish one.
No.
And has no business being in the MCU.
No, dude.
In my opinion. I'd rather see like Jubilee from the X-Men.
Like, yeah, within the first couple minutes of the movie, she appears on screen. And I was immediately like, who the fuck is this? And why should I care?
Who the fuck is this? Also, I don't know what it was, but every green screen shot with her in it looked so fake to me. And I don't know if it was her like acting when she was running, but it did not look natural.
The weird thing about this movie is that it seems like super for kids in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But then there's also a lot of people just being like chopped in half or exploding.
Yeah, it's real weird.
Yeah, I don't know what the vibe is. All I can say is it does kind of fit with Evil Dead themology. Like, it's a super, super cheesy, over the top gore effects, but like also has a lot of kid energy that just doesn't belong.
Yeah, it doesn't really know what it is, I think.
Yeah.
So weird. I did look into the writer, who's Michael Waldron, because I was curious. And it looked like he was like a production assistant on Rick and Morty as early as 2014. And now he's like writing blockbuster stuff. Basically, his like writing credits were an episode of Rick and Morty, and then he wrote on the Loki TV series.
Interesting.
Which I haven't seen.
The Loki TV series was like a hit and a miss for me because I love Loki.
Yeah.
It's no secret. But that show was so fan servicey to me. They just like, it really felt like a fan fiction. Like somebody wrote fan fiction about Loki. Some of it's really cool. They do some really interesting things with it. the fact that Owen Wilson is now in the MCU because of the Loki series is so funny to me.
Damn. I was going to say nail in the coffin because of the fan service stuff, but I love Owen Wilson, so you might have brought me back
I
in.
really do think it's worth a watch. I think I liked the Loki series more than WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it was very much, I felt they were writing his character for all the women who have big crushes on him.
So the writer, Michael Waldron, also wrote a show called Heels, which is a sports drama on Stars about wrestling. And I've never heard of it.
No.
But I was kind of like shocked how highly it was rated on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. So I think he might have gotten this gig based on Heels, actually.
Interesting. Yeah, more than anything, it felt very Sam Raimi.
Yeah, I think Sam Raimi was the writing wasn't spectacular, but I think the problem was Sam Raimi.
Yes.
Okay. The next thing coming out on June 24th was Flux Gourmet on Amazon Prime Video. I almost didn't add this. So it's a black comedy / horror / art house thing set at an institute devoted to culinary and alimentary performance. A collective finds themselves embroiled in power struggles, artistic vendettas, and gastrointestinal disorders.
Oh no. Okay, a lot about this is not going to work for me. I don't do art house. I don't like art house. And it looks like you have here that it's the same. Something about is it the same writer or same director as In Fabric?
Both.
No.
Same writer and director as In Fabric.
Did not like it.
The only reason I added this was to get your take on it because In Fabric from A24 was somewhat popular, at least.
It was just fucking weird. And that's if you like art house, sure. And I think this is where Byron and I disagree a lot about horror stuff because I can't do anything that's too art house. It's just doesn't work for me. It's too shock value based and too relies on visuals rather than story and just weirding you the fuck out.
I got a big X vibe from this one.
Yeah.
In the trailer, which intrigued me, but I watched the trailer twice and I still don't have a fucking clue what this thing's about. So that's probably not a great sign. I think it might be about making music with farts.
That sounds right.
I think that's what it's about, but they don't really give you any examples of that in the actual trailer.
Absolutely not. This is a movie that would make me angry for watching it.
It's got Asia Butterfield in it from Ender's Game and Sex Education, a French actress named Ariane Lebed that I did not recognize, and then Gwendolyn Christie.
Oh, she was in Fabric too.
Oh, was she?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she knows Peter Strickland. Well, of course she knows Peter Strickland, but I wonder if they met on Game of Thrones or something. Okay. The next one is Rise on Disney Plus, and that came out June 22nd, and that's a biography drama sport. This is the one I watched last night.
I guess I've at least seen the ads for it. I haven't seen trailers or anything, but it's a sports thing, and that's not something I gravitate towards.
It's I would recommend it, actually. It's based on the real life story about the family that produced the first trio of brothers to become NBA champions in the history of the league.
That's cool.
I don't know why in the logline they didn't say that oh wow, that's why they didn't do it. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a very good basketball player, and this story is about his parents fleeing. They were illegal immigrants in Turkey, and then they fled to Greece, and they were illegal immigrants in Greece, and they couldn't get papers. And the story is about that struggle and struggling to raise they were raising 4 kids in Greece.
Jesus.
And basically just out on the street selling sunglasses and stuff. And then Giannis and his brother Thanasis Antetokounmpo and Giannis both got to the NBA and brought their family to America. So this movie was super good. And I think if you watch it, you'll get a little insight into Giannis Antetokounmpo because he's really nice. If you look for him on Instagram, you'll see how charming he is. It's nuts how charming he is.
But you know what the kiss of death for this movie is, for me personally?
You feel good?
Yep.
At the end, you feel something, you don't feel like you want to die. You don't feel like abject rage about anything.
No, as I explained, if the premise seems too much that it's just a feel-good movie, I'm out, especially if it's like a biography. But that said, I think it's an important story, and I think it sounds like a good movie. It's just not my thing.
I would recommend giving it a watch to anyone. It's not even really about sports. It's one of those things where it's more about their family dynamic and their struggle as immigrants. Okay. The next is Loot on Apple TV Plus, which is a new TV series that came out on June 24th. There's 3 episodes currently, and the logline is: after divorcing her husband of 20 years, Molly Novak must figure out what to do with her $87 billion settlement. She decides to re-engage with her charitable foundation and reconnect with the real world, finding herself along the way.
You know what that sounds like?
Huh.
Sounds like a feel-good thing to me.
No, man, I don't think so. Because it's a TV show created by Matt Hubbard and Alan Yang, and they work together on Parks and Rec, which is intriguing.
Oh, and Maya Rudolph. Okay.
Yeah, it's Maya Rudolph, which makes me think it's not a feel-good, because she does. Yeah. She's usually not in feel-good stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's at least probably going to be just like a goofy comedy.
Yeah, I think it is. But the thing is, like, something about this show feels weird to me. I watched the trailer and something feels off. Because on IMDb, Maya Rudolph's not billed, and like she doesn't get top billing for some reason.
Oh, that's weird.
There's 3 actors ahead of her that I didn't recognize really, except for Michaela J. Rodriguez, I think is how you say her name. And she's from a show called Pose, which I've never seen, but I heard it was good. And Ron Funches is in it. He's not top billed, but I love Ron Funches, so he gets mentioned. Great. Yeah, but something, I don't know, it doesn't sit right. I love Maya Rudolph, but this show, I think I'm gonna wait to see if I want to watch it or not.
Yeah, I've actually never watched an Apple TV series. I know I need to watch Severance. You don't have to say it.
Please. And Ted Lasso, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta watch Ted Lasso. You can't just write stuff off because it's kind of about sports.
That's not why I'm writing it off. I'm writing it off because it's feel good. Not
all the way. It's just a fun boy. Ted Lasso is just a fun time.
I'm more willing to give movies a shot because it's like a one-off thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like one shot and I can like it or not. It's a lot more to get me to commit to watching a TV show if I'm not compelled by the plot line.
That's so weird to me. That's like the complete...
That's such a bigger commitment.
No, that's the completionist in you.
Yeah, it is. Because it's like if I start it, I'm going to have to keep watching it. Because I'm always like, well, maybe, the pilot might not be that strong, but maybe it takes a couple episodes to get into it. So I'll give it a chance.
Which is very true of Ted Lasso.
There you go.
It'll take you 2 episodes. The first one, I mean, it's still okay, but the first one is, it's like got more cringy stuff in it than the rest of the show has, which is why Miriam was almost out after the first episode because she doesn't like cringe humor.
I don't either.
Yeah, but if you sit through the first 2, you will be hooked on that show.
Well, that's kind of what somebody said about Barry, but okay.
You're also wildly wrong about Barry too. You're wrong about Ted Lasso and Barry. Although you just gotta give Ted Lasso a shot. Okay. So that was Loot on Apple TV Plus. The next one is Man vs. Bee on Netflix.
This looks so stupid.
Yeah, it looks really dumb.
Ever since this was announced, the McElroy brothers have been doing bits about it on their podcast constantly. So that's kind of all I can... It's just a joke at this point.
So they've been talking about this movie? Or the show?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's crazy. I thought this was like under the radar.
No, they have a Man versus Bee countdown and also pitched the idea of getting a single Netflix account and sharing the login with their audience so they can all watch Man versus
What the hell? It's very okay. It would have been appealing to 11-year-old me because it's Mr. Bean, so it's like that dumb kid humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not for the McElroy brothers. I feel like it's for kids.
No, it's a bit. It's a huge bit.
That said, I looked at the trailer and it's still kind of, I don't know.
No.
It's endearing.
No.
He's endearing.
Mm-mm.
That's a nice man. Why you gotta be mad at a nice boy?
Because this kind of shit shouldn't get made anymore.
Sure, I mean, if it's made well, sure it should. They're still kids. You gotta entertain the kids.
Entertain me.
All right, well, that's what Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe is for.
No, it isn't.
Which came out on Paramount Plus on June 23rd.
And this episode is just me being like, I hate everything.
I hate everything on this list.
Yep.
Shocking turn of events. I watched this and I didn't like it.
There you go.
I thought it was a slog. I did love Beavis and Butthead Do America.
See, I was never a Beavis and Butthead watcher in general, so it has no nostalgic ties for me.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the draw is nostalgia. This one, there was something about this one that had like an air of meanness to it that I don't remember. I might just be getting old, but this one seemed meaner than they usually are for some reason. Like I don't know. But I assume like 13-year-olds are going to love it, which is probably who it's for and not me.
True.
Okay. And the last one that I wanted to mention was this Mad God movie on Shudder. It came out June 16th, so I missed it last week. And it looks like a fever dream. But I found out that its writer and director, Phil Tippett, had been trying to make it for 30 years, which is kind of cool. It's always cool when an artist gets to do that after so long. So I wanted to give it a shout out. It's stop motion. Alyssa from the Fortnite streams, I saw her tweet about it today, actually, and she had to nope out of it.
Oh, no.
Because it is apparently gnarly.
It's stop motion and it was too gnarly?
Yeah. Which is intriguing, right?
Yeah. I will say I weirdly have seen stop motion horror before.
Weird.
Because a lot comes across my desk at Friday. I don't think I hated that one. Stop motion, I feel like I associate it with Tim Burton at this point.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't dislike stop motion, but it's not something that I gravitate towards either.
This version of it looks pretty cool. It's like a mashup of Pink Floyd and Peter Gabriel. I've been advised to turn the audio off and just play a Tool album over top of it.
That seems pointless.
Which I might do. I don't know. Why does it seem pointless?
Because you're not watching the movie. I am going to not watch it and see what happens.
I'm probably not going to watch it either, but I might do that Tool thing because that sounds fun.
You go for it.
That's it for streaming stuff.
Wow, this was a disappointing week, not gonna lie.
Yeah. I really did like Rise a lot.
That sounds like out of all the things we talked about, probably the most promising.
And UHF. But that's not new.
But that's not new.
No, that's not new at all. But I fucking loved UHF.
Yeah, the stuff that I actually watched based on last week's topics were quite good.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'll be doing so this week.
No, I don't think so either. I'm just looking back through this list and I don't think I'm going to revisit any of this.
I think that you'll learn about me that I am very picky, but I can't always narrow down what makes me like or not like something. So, like, for the most part, if we're going to watch something together and you pitch me a movie and you really want to watch it, I'll give it a shot. But if it's like both of us don't know anything about the movie and I'm just given a log line, I probably won't take a chance on stuff that doesn't interest me at all.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not going to watch that Mr. Malcolm's List thing because I know I will not like that because they're all smelly. You can't do romance in what is it? 16th. What century? 19th?
Yeah, an old friend of mine told me that she couldn't watch Game of Thrones because she couldn't watch people who never brush their teeth do sex scenes.
I agree. What the fuck? I don't know how people overlook that.
I mean, everyone smelled bad. Maybe you go nose blind after a while.
I mean, I guess you have to because we're all here somehow.
Yeah.
But Yeah, that's all I think about. I was like, wow, you smell bad under there. And you're sweaty as fuck because you're wearing like 10 layers.
Yeah, those nether regions are gnarly.
No, ugh. I don't like it. Okay, so comes down to, what are we watching this week?
We are going to be watching The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent on Amazon Prime.
With Nicolas Cage. What? Fuck you. You didn't like my trumpet? You want to fight?
I just didn't really know what it was.
It was clearly a fucking fanfare trumpet.
Berm-pa-derm.
You didn't know what that was, really?
Anyway, this is a comedy. This movie intrigues me because it's like really doesn't seem to take itself seriously at all. It's Nick Cage playing Nick Cage, but Pedro Pascal plays a super fan of his, and Tiffany Haddish plays a CIA agent. So like obviously it's a comedy, but I don't know what the vibe is, and it could either be terrible or really fun.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's really fun.
Yeah.
I have heard a little bit about it because another podcast I listened to called the Real Blend Podcast was really looking forward to this one, and they liked it, but they said it wasn't what they were expecting.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. And the writer and director is Tom Gormacan, and he does not have a lot of credits on IMDb, which doesn't really... Maybe I'll stop mentioning that because I don't know if that matters.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be good or bad, but it is interesting when they have a list of credits to see what they've done.
Yeah. When I see no credits,
it's a wild
card. A wild card. It's also intriguing on some level because I'm like, how'd you get this?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Yeah. So we're going to watch The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent on Amazon Prime. That's going to come out on Friday for you guys. So
heck yeah.
Why don't you watch that along with us?
Why don't you do it?
Yeah, why don't you fucking...
Come on.
Why don't you... Come on.
Everyone else is doing it.
Try it out.
All the cool kids.
Come on. Go watch this Nicolas Cage shit with us.
Yeah.
Maybe he's good. You don't know.
You don't know. We don't know.
I don't fucking know. What do I know? Wow, we did it.
Wow, we did it. I guess we'll see you all for the watch along.
Bye everybody. See you on the watch along.
I'm sorry. This was such trash.
I'm sorry. Nothing is good this week at all.
Yeah.
In the world.
I'm sorry I
movies.
couldn't muster excitement about literally anything.
I'm sorry Felicia's inflexible.
Yeah.
And doesn't want to watch things.
I'm not sorry about.
Including Ted Lasso. Which is a generational comedy probably, but that everybody loves.
Yeah.
Literally everybody I've ever talked to has loved it.
No, yeah, that's a good point.
Every single person. Wow. That's not enough though.
That's cool.
That's not enough for our little hipster here.
Wow.
She can't do it.
Our little hipster.
Our little fucking hipster girl. She can't handle Ted.
Goodbye, everybody.
She can't handle Ted Lasso.
I can't handle. That's not...
I'll make you watch it someday. Bye. You've been listening to Two Idiots Talking Over Stuff, produced by Jesse Stillwell, with original theme and outro music by Jesse Stillwell. For more information, you can visit www.idiots.fm or reach out directly via email to contact@idiots.fm.